Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today some NHL 16 which is made by EA Sports, and that's ironic because this video is actually being brought to you by EA, who was kind enough to send me an early code for the game so I can mess around with NHL 16, play around with it a little bit, and kind of give you guys my first impressions here in this video. But before we get into the impressions, I want to preface this to kind of give you context as to where I'm coming from. This video is being made by somebody who has not played an NHL game since 2007 roughly. I think I played a bit of NHL 08 as well, but mostly I played NHL 07. I used to be a really big Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I used to watch every game I could online. I used to play the NHL games a ton, but around that time frame, right, 2007, 2008, that's when Call of Duty really kind of took over my life, and so as a result, I stopped paying attention to hockey. I really stopped paying attention to every sport besides American football, and yeah, so it's been a very long time since I played an NHL game, but I used to play these things a ton, and that's going to kind of be the basis for the impressions of this video. It's somebody that hasn't played the NHL series for a very long time, and they're kind of getting back into this series with NHL 16. It's so weird, like going to the roster here. I'm showing you guys the main menu here just to show you all the different game modes and features that are available to you. I was a Toronto Maple Leafs fan when I was really into the NHL, and as I look at the rosters and such, I don't recognize a single player that are on the Maple Leafs anymore. Like back when I actually paid attention to hockey, and this might be a blast from the past for some of you guys that actually pay attention to hockey and can remember the players and what teams they were on, so on and so forth. Back when I paid attention to hockey, Matt Sundin was the captain, right, sitting there playing center. You had Darcy Tucker out there on the wing, who was hilarious because he would try to fight everybody. Never won a fight, but he tried to fight everybody. Like, if you want some good old-fashioned entertainment, just type in Darcy Tucker fight videos and just go watch Darcy Tucker lose a bunch of fights. It's hilarious. You had Nick Antropov, who was one of my favorite players. I think he ended up going to the Rangers afterwards. Then, of course, you had, and the defenseman back there, you had Thomas Kaberle, who was fantastic. And, of course, you had, I think, Vesatoskala, actually. Was it? Yeah, it was Vesatoskala was the goalie, and I think Curtis Joseph, I could be wrong, it might have been later, but I'm pretty sure Curtis Joseph was like the backup goalie. Like, it's been so long since I actually paid attention to the NHL, so coming to this game was definitely kind of a system shock, but at the same time, it was kind of neat because I have some leftover muscle memory while I'm actually playing this game. Now, I'm trying to get rid of the old system where I basically play on the NHL 94 setup or the new hybrid sticks. I'm trying to not use those. I'm trying to use the skill stick system, which of course is a little bit different there because I do randomly still have muscle memory left because I used to play the NHL games so much. So here we are, we're showing a little bit of Ultimate Team right here. And I must say, I actually kind of think the Ultimate Team for NHL 16 is kind of fun. Now, Ultimate Team itself doesn't really change a lot throughout all the respective EA games, right? It's kind of the same thing, but has its own twists in every single game. I think the reason why I think it's kind of neat in NHL 16, even though I'm 0-2, and even though I've gotten completely dominated in both of the games I played, is because I don't know any of the players, therefore it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just basically playing by overalls and checking that out, and of course opening card packs, which are going to have different players in there, and different jerseys in there, and different boosts in there. So the Ultimate Team itself was actually pretty good fun. Again, I got completely dominated in both of the games I played online, but it's like, hey, you know that NHL game that you haven't played for nearly a decade? Let's hop on there on a brand new console even, and just hop on and go online and face people right away. Turns out that's not a very good idea. I should have played the AI a little bit first, and then of course I started playing AI a little bit, and I started getting back into things, and actually started playing around with the My Player mode. And I always thought that the NHL games had a really good My Player mode, like back when I used to play, like they had a bunch of really cool camera angles for your player, and they really do the same idea here in NHL 16. You know, you go out there on the ice, you basically can only control your player, which I chose a left wing because left wings are generally right-handed, which I'm right-handed, and I like to be like a sniper and try and, you know, slap shot goals in from halfway across the ice, which I didn't end up doing that actually. I ended up actually getting a lot of assists in the couple games I've actually played in the My Player mode so far, but I like what they do with the My Player mode. I like how the system works. They give you some objectives throughout the game. They're constantly judging you, and what's kind of nice at the same time is while you're actually going out, like you actually like leave a little bit, because in hockey, like you're not just on the field constantly like you might be in like basketball or maybe the NFL or something like that in a My Player mode. Like you're basically getting taken out a lot, and when you get taken out, they kind of talk about what you did, how you're doing so far and whatnot. And it's kind of cool from like a role play perspective, I suppose. And they used to have this back in the day as well, but of course they've improved upon it a little bit here in this game. Is you can sit there on the bench and you can kind of like simulate to the next time that your line's actually out there on the ice, but instead you can actually just watch it from there, which I think is kind of cool. Like I got into a fight and I lost the fight because I have no idea how to fight in this game anymore, and I lost the fight, and then they put me in the penalty box, which I used to love being in the penalty box back in the day. It was my favorite part of the game, was going there and trying to fight everybody I could possibly fight. Like George Laraque, I'm not afraid of George Laraque. Back when he played on the Penguins, I used to try and fight him every time, even though I'm pretty sure he had like 99 toughness or something and would just dominate me every time. But I beat him one time back in the day. So I used to like fighting in the NHL games a lot. And overall, I think the My Player mode is a really good system. Honestly, I think that the NHL My Player mode is actually a bit better than the Madden My Player mode. Just because in the Madden My Player mode, you kind of feel a little bit disconnected. Like, you don't really feel as though you're participating in a lot of things outside of the game. Whereas it feels like in the NHL games, you're a bit more connected to the game. You're a bit more involved. You definitely have a lot more things going on, it feels like, in between games, as well as in-game. Like, even while you're in-game, you're sitting there on the bench watching your teammates play, or you can simulate past that if you would like to, because obviously it takes a very long time, and sometimes the games seem to take a long time. So simulating while you're not on the ice can sometimes be a good thing. But in Madden, you know, if you're on the bench, you know, you just simulate. You can't even watch the games or anything like that. So I feel as though they actually do My Player a bit better here in the NHL series. And from what I've played so far, again, a very limited experience so far, because I just got the code today, just downloaded the game today. I've only played for a few hours, but I found that the My Player mode was really, really fun. It reminded me a lot of what it was like back in 2007, but of course it's a lot more polished. The game itself, like, you're watching gameplay throughout this video, the game itself is a lot more polished than what it was. Like, someone like me, I've never been like an X's and O's kind of guy when it comes to hockey. Like, I was never that good at it. I think that might be one of the things that kind of scares people off of playing the NHL series, is maybe you guys don't understand hockey that well, which I'm totally that way. Like, when I'm facing other people online, like, they're actually setting up plays and stuff, which is mind-boggling to me, whereas I go down there and I just try to slap shot it in, or pass it to someone's open and have them try and slap shot into the corner of the net or something like that. Like, these people are actually setting up plays and such. And like, when I'm playing My Player mode, I'm playing as my left wing, I have the game kind of telling me where I need to go. Like, it has a box, like, you need to be within this box, and I'll have like a little arrow kind of pointing towards the person that I'm supposed to be defending. It's like, oh, thank you, because otherwise I probably just would have followed the puck around. Like, I'm glad you're telling me I need to be here. And the better you play on defense that way, the higher your defensive rating is going to be for that game, the more XP you're going to earn, and it kind of teaches you the game a little bit, which I definitely think is a plus. But yeah, that's really the extent so far for me of what I've done with NHL 16. Again, played a bit of the Ultimate Team, which I thought was fun, opened up a couple of packs, but I don't have a lot of gold yet, therefore I've only opened 2 packs, and they were bronze packs, therefore the players are obviously not going to be very good. You can, of course, spend real life money if you would like to kind of accelerate that and just, you know, buy packs for real money, but I haven't done that yet because I just got the game, and I feel as though I should actually learn to play the game a little bit better before I would actually want to invest money into Ultimate Team. It seems to make a little bit of sense. But yeah, the Ultimate Team's there. Ultimate Team is definitely one of the biggest things that people buy these kind of sports games for, and so if you're looking for Ultimate Team and you're wondering if it's going to be any good, it's probably going to be to your liking. I don't see it as a kind of a game where they can possibly mess up. Like, you have all these different teams, you have all these different stadiums, and all these different uniforms you can get, and you unlock them via packs, and then you level up, and of course you have all the different divisions that can go up based upon how good you actually are at the game, which I'm at the very bottom because I'm 0-2, but you know, you do that. If you guys like Ultimate Team, I'm sure you're going to like that. And the My Player mode, I think, is fantastic. I'm not even in the NHL yet. Like, I'm still back in the OHL, which I think is freaking cool. I love the fact that you have the ability to play as all of the OHL teams, because the Erie Otters, which is a team that's literally 45 minutes away from me, like, I've been to Erie Otter games. I have some Erie Otter merchandise. I think it's really cool that I get to go and play for them. Like, I just think that's a really neat system. So regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude my very general, broad first impressions of NHL 16. So far, I'm really enjoying the game. Should you buy the game? I think that's something a lot of people are asking. You know, should we buy the game? Last game, I didn't like it very much. It didn't seem to be that great. And again, that's why I gave you the context of where I'm coming from. It's hard for me to say, like, is this a big improvement on NHL 15? I don't know that. I didn't play NHL 15. I haven't played an NHL game in nearly a decade. I've been enjoying the game so far, but I didn't really go into it with a lot of expectations. But here's the thing. If you like hockey, if you like the NHL, or even if you like the OHL, because they're all here as well, if you like that kind of a sport, then chances are you'll like this game, because it's really the only option you have for a hockey game, right? Same thing with Madden. If you're a fan of American football, you're probably going to buy Madden, regardless if they're being super innovative or not. You're probably going to buy it because it's like the only one on the market. And that's kind of the same thing for NHL. A lot of people buy NHL 16 because it is the hockey game. And if you're somebody that isn't necessarily a hockey fan, maybe you'll want to rent NHL or maybe borrow it from a friend or something like that, because it's still possible for you to get into this kind of a game. One of the ways I got into all the Blizzard games I'm currently playing is you start playing just one game, then you kind of want to learn more about it. You know, if you start messing around a little bit in NHL 16 and you pick a team, like, you're going to pick a team based off like what you know about them, maybe the mascot, maybe the color, what have you. Like, the reason I picked the Maple Leafs as my favorite team because I knew a lot about them as like a very historic franchise, similar to the Browns that were like really good back in the day. but haven't been so great recently. Like, they're kind of similar that way, and I've also heard about them a lot. So when I would play my friends in NHL 07 or 06, I would be like, yeah, I'll play as them. They're my favorite team because I've heard of them. So I started playing as them. Then eventually you start learning the players' names, and you start learning a little bit more about the team, till eventually you're looking up a bit more about the team. And then you kind of just become a full-blown fan just from starting to play the game. Like, I would watch these hockey games online. I would get so, like, the Maple Leafs would, like, text me. Like, ESPN, who set this up back in the day, would, like, ESPN would text you whenever, like, a score would happen in the game. I used to do that kind of a thing. And it all stemmed from playing NHL 07. You know, I would just play the game, and that was, like, the team that I played as. Eventually, I learned all the people on the team just from playing the game so much, and I looked up the things about the players, and just kind of, it's a trickle effect, man. Eventually, you just get full-blown into it. So maybe if you're already not a hockey fan, but you've always kind of been interested in the idea of it, maybe give it a look. Maybe rent it. Of course, you shouldn't go out and just buy something that you don't know you're going to like. Watch some reviews, read some reviews, rent the game, borrow the game, do stuff like that. But overall, I feel as though if you like hockey, if you like the NHL, you're probably going to like NHL 16. But again, those are my very, very early impressions of the game coming from somebody that hasn't played an NHL game in nearly a decade. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed my impressions of NHL 16. If you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a rating. Definitely that helps my video grow and helps my channel grow as well. And of course, let us know in the comment section below if you guys are digging NHL 16 so far. Those of you guys that were able to play the game a little bit early, if you are a member of EA Access, if you've been able to play the game so far, or the videos or the streams you've seen of the game so far, let us know what you think about NHL 16, especially comparing it to NHL 15, because again, I haven't played an NHL game in a very long time, so like I'm interested to see how this game compares to some of the previous games that have come out over the past couple of years. Let us know about that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.